This is Chris the Nightmare Ariola, and you're watching Mission Boxing Today on YouTube.
Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? Alright, so this is my second video to my, I believe I titled the first one Road to the Title or something like that. But this is the second video, man, for that series I'm dropping up until fight night. But, you know, before I start, let me say, if you guys haven't checked this documentary out, it's called Joseph Parker vs. Andy Ruiz Jr. A Fighting Chance. All right, it's like a 45-minute documentary. Excellent documentary. Excellent. I loved it. I found out some things that I didn't know about both fighters. You know what I mean? So it was an excellent documentary. Please go check that out. If I remember, I will leave the link in the description box. But if I don't, Parker vs. Ruiz, A Fighting Chance. All right, check that out. Then there was another one they had where they were both like on a show. I forget the name of the show, man, but I forget what that one is. But check out Fighting Chance, though. Check that out. All right. Now, you know, when I look at this fight, man, to me this has Fight of the Year written all over it, based on the styles. And I've been saying this, so I'm not just saying it now. I've been saying it. If you follow my channel, you know that I've been saying this. You know, I've been reading some articles today, the last few days. I've seen an article come out. Ruiz is saying that he believes that he's already behind on points going into the fight. You know, that's a interesting way of looking at it, and I'm glad that he's coming with that mindset. Now, some of you may say, oh, he shouldn't feel as if he's going to get ripped off by the judges, or no, but just having that mentality that, hey, man, you're traveling halfway across the world to fight in another man's country. You have to bring that mentality. Even if you have to bring that mentality that everybody's against you. You have to. It's just you and your team there. As great as the people are in New Zealand welcoming Ruiz, that's awesome. But on fight night, your mind change has to switch, and you have to have that mindset that everybody's against you. It's you and your team against the world. And you're down on the scorecards, the judges are against you, the refs are against you. You, at the very least, have to have that mindset. It makes you fight harder. It makes you go for it. It makes you dig deep. You know what I mean? So, I like that. Then I've seen, you know, Kevin Berry come out and believes that Ruiz is the actual favorite in this fight. You know what I mean? But the facts are Parker is a 3-1 favorite going into this fight, depending on which betting website you use. But I see him at a 3-1. All right, those are the facts. One thing though that I think is interesting about this fight is Parker in 2013. I know both these guys are different fighters. I totally understand that. But Parker made the mistake when he first seen Andrew Ruiz. Underestimated him. Kevin Berry was bringing him there to spar. They're in Vegas. And we all know about the sparring session and what happened. And even in that documentary, they talked about it. You know what I mean? And I've actually spoke to Andrew Ruiz when I interviewed him. You guys have caught those interviews. If you haven't, please go look up those interviews on my channel. Go to my playlist, and you'll see fighters' interviews and check out the interviews I did with Ruiz. He's, you know, spoke about it with me too. But one thing that I didn't know and I learned from the documentary is that Parker was looking at Kevin Berry like, you want me to spar this dude? He's fat. Like, you can't be serious. Like, the guy was, you know, Ruiz was moving in slow motion. He doesn't look like much. He doesn't, man. From the eye test, I can totally see why Parker was like, Kevin, you got to be kidding me. I'm going to kill this dude. So then he underestimated him. Got his mouth busted up doing it. Right? So I think the element of surprise is gone for Ruiz. As far as just being this surprise and, you know, from the eye test, he doesn't look like he has much. And you can argue that, well, shit, since that sparring session, Ruiz has went on and, you know, done some decent things. But I just think the element of surprise is gone. It's not there no more. For both. Because Andy knows what Parker's going to bring to the table. He know that JP can crack. He know JP got fast hands. He know he's the bigger guy. He knows that. So I'm curious to see, is there going to be a fill out? Like, are they going to fill each other out? Or is it just going to be another day at the office, the bell's going to ring, and both guys are going to fight how they know how to fight, which is be aggressive fighters? but the element of surprise is definitely gone. And Parker has underestimated him before. I don't think he'll do. I think he's too smart now. I think, you know, that was a long time ago. He's smart now. And Kevin Berry won't allow him to. I don't think he'll allow him to. Even if, and you know, I believe that Joe learned from that too. I believe he learned from underestimating that fat kid across the corner, that fat Mexican kid. I think he learned from that. And I think Ruiz said he was close to like 300 pounds when he sparred JP. You know what I mean? I'm curious to see how Parker deals with the activity of Andrew Ruiz. Now, Takam has some spots in there where he was landing good lead left hooks, and he was pressuring Parker a little bit, but he wasn't throwing. He wasn't throwing enough. I don't know if it was a case of Takam needed his feet set, or if he wanted to cleanly get off, meaning he didn't want to get into exchanges with Parker. He either wanted to lead or catch Parker's shot and then come back with his, or just be the first one to initiate. I don't know what his thing was, but he just didn't throw enough. And people still thought that fight was close. I had a 7-5 Parker. I thought it was a close competitive fight. You know, I thought it was a close competitive fight. So how is Parker going to deal with the activity? That's the key thing we have to worry about, man. Because Ruiz going to let his hands go. He's not this back foot fighter that's going to use his jab or turn you. Oh, no. He comes forward. He'll make you miss coming forward. He isn't a make you miss going backwards guy. He's a make you miss coming forward while throwing punches. He's not a, I'm going to put my high guard up, let you get off, then I'm going to start throwing. No. He's a put my guard up. As you're throwing, I'm throwing right back. You jab me, I'm going to parry your jab and come back with my jab. You're throwing combos on me, I'm going to start throwing my combinations. Then how is Ruiz going to deal with the accurate power punching of Joseph Parker? And Parker has a good jab. I think his jab is more of a hard jab where he can, it's almost, you know, it can almost be like a power punch. He comes from that that cloth of like a, I'm not comparing them to these guys as far as historically, but just as far as jabs, like a Ray Mercer or a Sonny Liston or a Big George Foreman. I think he has that type of jab. Although it's fast and it's flicking, I think it's more of a power jab than it is a, let's say like a Ali or Larry Holmes, where, you know, they got that fast, quick flicking jab, that, you know, that fast, quick jab. Right? There's, you know, different types of jabs. Pulev is more of a, you know, Kirat Pulev has one of the best jabs right now. Even Vladimir, when Vlad is on, you know, they got good jabs, good hard jabs, ramrod jabs, right? Not that quick Larry Holmes type shit, but just that ramrod jab. I think JP has that type of jab. So how is Ruiz going to deal with that? How is he going to deal with the accurate punching and that jab? And I've seen Ruiz, to me, is susceptible to getting hit with good right hands. What's that dude's name? Rafael Zubanu Love landed a good right hand on Ruiz. Tor Hammer landed some good right hands on Ruiz. Hanks landed a good right hand on, he was able to take him. He was able to take him. You know what I mean? So I do see some spots there for, you know, that can be exploited. But if he's eating them, if he is eating JP's best shots up like M&M's and still coming forward, ooh, man. I cannot wait for this fight, man. I cannot wait for this fight. I'm so amped about this fight. This has Fight of the Year written all over it, man. The activity of Andy Ruiz, how is Parker going to deal with that? Is he going to try to fight on the back foot all night? He's going to have to try to dictate the pace somehow, right? Isn't he? You would think. I don't see Larry Holmes. And what I mean by that, or even a Kirat Pulev, if you want to use somebody more recent, meaning somebody that just can win the round literally off jabbing. To where they're going out and that's their mindset. To me, that's not Parker's mindset. He's trying to let hands go. He's trying to let hands go. He wants to throw in combinations. Taka made him do some things he wasn't really used to. The Dimitrenko fight was more of a JP fight. Not because he got the knockout win, because he came forward and fought his fight. Taka made him do things that he wasn't really accustomed to doing and made it kind of awkward. And to that effect, it made the fight close for a lot of fans. Like I said, I had a 7-5. So I believe that Ruiz, and Takum's a tough dude. Let's not get it twisted. Takum is a tough dude. That was a quality win by JP. I'm not trying to make it seem like that win, wasn't a quality win, because it was. But stylistically, this is different. Like, Ruiz, man, is a quick-handed guy. It's going to take a lot to discourage him. It's going to take a lot, especially for a guy that has that type of body type, that's been called fat and out of shape his whole life, and who was this kid, and I can't believe I'm sparring this guy, and he's used to that. He's used to it. He loves that role. He loves to be underestimated. Doesn't necessarily mean he's going to win this fight, but he's already embraced that role. You underestimate me? Cool. I'm going to bust your mouth open. He's that guy, right? This is an interesting fight, man. It's easy for me to say, okay, I got Parker winning. He's a 3-1 favorite. He's bigger. Look like he punches harder, and leave it at that and pick him to win the fight. But there's so many variables, man, in this fight. It can go either way, in my opinion. I really think it's a 50-50 fight. Like, I really do. And I may step away from picking. Because one day I'm feeling like, okay, Parker got this one because of, the power punching. I think the hometown crowd will motivate him and be behind him. I think once they start exchanging, and, because Andy is fearless and he will fight, and, he will exchange with you. But maybe he's going to be exchanging with somebody that's just superior power puncher. Is going to catch him in between a exchange and put him down or discourage him. But I've yet to see the kid discouraged, really. I've seen him fight Joel Godfrey, and, Godfrey put up the high guard and discouraged him from getting a knockout win or looking impressive. But Andy kept working. He kept working, kept working, kept working, kept working. Godfrey was there to survive. Holding Andy by his neck and pulling him and grabbing him and putting up the high guard. And then, walking and running a little bit and throwing a jab and then grabbing again. I mean, just a real ugly fight. But Andy kept working. He didn't fall apart. He didn't get fatigued. He just kept working. Ugly fight, but he kept working. But sometimes, the last few days, like, yeah, but I think Parker got this. But then I'm looking at what Ruiz does well, and I really don't know, man. Because that pressure and him running off combinations, and it just seems like, if there's nothing else in, in shape that's on his body, it's his shoulders and his hands. Because them motherfuckers just keep moving. Like, he loves to throw. It could get him in trouble. It could get him in trouble. Maybe in an exchange. I'm not sure. I don't know who to pick in this fight. I really don't. You guys let me know what you think in the comments section. Who are you picking to win this fight? And how? This is going to be a great fight. I'll probably drop one more video. But yeah, man. I'm curious to see how Parker deals with the activity of Andy Ruiz Jr. How will he deal with it? Will he try to go to Ruiz's body and attack it? Does he think it's a waste of time to go to his body? And Ruiz is going to make himself even smaller. I think JP looked like he got about 4 inches. I know on BoxRec they list Ruiz as 6'2", but he's not 6'2". He's about probably 6 feet. Or unless he is 6'2", and JP is more closer to 6'6". But I'll see like a 4-inch height advantage. But regardless of that, Ruiz is going to make himself even smaller by crouching down a little bit and ripping to the body. He's going after Parker's body. Believe it. He's going to go after his body. Not because Parker has a weak body, but nobody likes it to the body. And he's a committed body puncher. The guy even said, when I spoke to him, he looked up to Julio Cesar Chavez, Mike Tyson, and some other guys. But when you hear Chavez and Tyson, you're thinking combinations, body punches, and hooks upstairs. And we've seen JP can be clipped. Bergman clipped him when he doesn't move his head. And if there's any type of slight if the conditioning starts to lessen a little bit and Ruiz sees that, we're really going to be in for an entertaining fight. Just like if Parker starts to nail him and back him up, we're really going to be in for an entertaining fight. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section, man. I'm out.